August 21st at Kelly and Vince Scott's for a bi-weekly maintenance. I'm starting around the driveway. We got all of this sedum ground cover deadheaded, and now it's greener, vibrant, looks a lot cleaner, and also weeded out those areas. The front middle circle, very much tidied up. We did some editing and cutting out certain parts of the coneflower that were really dead looking, but letting the rest go to seed and spread and do its natural thing. But lots of leaf removal we're starting to do as it gets windier and certain trees are losing their leaves due to whatever reason in August. As you can see, it's all fluffed out, weeded. There was tiny bits of aspens, a little bit of morning glory, and random sprouts here and there. We got in between all of this yarrow, picked up leaves, and just carefully fluffed all around. And then for the very front, also thoroughly upturning that soil layer on top, making it look fresh, weeding, getting the little runners from the base plants as well. Still looking really good right here. Some of the columbine we cut back and shook the seeds out, and definitely some animals are eating the stone crop, but otherwise looking quite nice over here. Transplants doing good. These are the columbine that we snipped up, and then lush, healthy looking all around. Now going on the left here, a couple dead spots in the yews again, not sure why, but we snipped them out. They were really small, and then just really cleaned up the area and fluffed it out. The planters are doing really well. These begonias I'm still continuously impressed by. I think they're doing phenomenal. It's nice to see a little flower too. Some of the lantanas blooming, so really green and lush with pops of color, but mostly just green and lush. We did give it a nice water today. Unfortunately, these front planters were really dry when we got here today, so we watered them twice, really letting it soak in for this poor begonia that was planted last time, because we were touching it up. You know, at least the side ones, these are doing good, but yeah, just unfortunate it didn't get enough water when it was first planted continuously. But from the front, they're looking incredibly full. These huge leaves and the sweet potato vines and the hostas and the other begonias that already planted are doing great, with the dark vine too. So nice to see all these new leaves popping up. And then here we are in the front entryway, clean and tidy from every angle. We removed the yarrow that was growing in between to make it consistent with just this one type of ground cover. All of the irises, we got the dead leaves out, some runners in this area. Just editing out any really dead things that don't need to be here, or wildflowers that we don't want, but most of them we do, so it's looking pretty good all around. Coneflowers. Now on the rock layer, we also did a great job today deadheading those ground cover again, and then getting the thistle out from the top. We started to notice more types of thistle, but also removing the clover, other things like that. So really dove into the front, took our time with these rock walls, getting it all cleaned up, and then fluffed out everything, blew it all out, hand swept the stones, tended to this rock wall as well, doing more of that deadheading for the ground cover. Looks a lot more fresh. Fluffed about all the way up to here. Tried to cover up any pipes if they were somehow exposed, as this like top mulch kind of erodes off of it every now and then. We also buried 4 different rodents on the property. They were like mice and squirrels. So we found a spot in the woods, dug a tiny hole for each of them. Looking pretty rough over here. I noticed the dogwoods, they're just getting too much sun, not enough water. So we water them every time we're here, but they're definitely not looking too good. And then we did plant these lilies last time because I brought them to spruce up the planters and didn't use them, but wanted to contribute to the moose garden because it was so incredibly empty. But unfortunately, the moose have been picking them up and moving them, and Scott wants to be a good garden owner and put them back, so he's having a little difficulty with dealing with those. So the ones that were picked up, we planted, in the back there so that they don't look bad when they're picked up by the animals. But ultimately, it is a little moosey garden, and maybe we'll replant a couple more apple trees, then the moose won't pick them up, and that'll be good. But Russian sage is getting trampled on. So just thinking about things that can't get trampled or picked up by the moose would probably have to be a large tree or a shrub. It seems like more apple trees might be the way to go. Now over here, thoroughly watered and trimmed up the vines on the plants here, which they have some blooms, really exciting to see. So it's not a total loss. They're just dealing with a lot of sunshine. And then up here, cleaning up the irises, removing the hollyhock blooms, and then tidying up the walkway like usual so this stays pristine. The steps, no grasses or weeds. So we did cut down the hollyhock about 50% per Kelly's request because they've been getting a lot of storms. We also used some green stretchy tape and tied them up. So hopefully they are nice and supported now for the next storm. There are stakes in there as well. And it was windy today, but they still held their form, so that's nice to see. And then we picked up all of the little flower droppings and cleaned up all around here. Everything got blown out. And here's just another view of what they look like. Pretty tidied up, nice and straight and tall. And then over on the side, these planters are looking really wonderful right now this time of the year. And then this top layer was so clean and tidy. We fluffed it and weeded out anything that didn't need to be growing here. And then fluffed and removed the runners from the Russian sage like always, so really cleaned that up. And it's just nice over here. Did a little deadheading in the space and weeding out, tidying up, and fluffing. And this was all deadheaded last time, still looks good. And the front of the driveway is looking good as well. And we also removed any super long pieces of grass from this pathway so they wouldn't tickle you as you're walking by. Just a little bit easier to maneuver. And we're really stoked on today's maintenance day, so thank you very much.